relationships.
So you mean to tell me we can be completely immature, have horrible communication, do a bunch of, do a bunch of trauma responding, all of that, and man, we don't just start kissing each other against the wall and just have sex and all the problems gone?
But when you do that, though, you're going to still be broken. You're going to still have trauma. You're going to still be in bondage. You're going to still have horrible communication.
It's going to all be that way.
You're going to still be immature. Like, it's not going anywhere.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back once again to another episode of the Davis Unfiltered, where we talk love, faith, and all things relationships.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Man, y'all are in for a good one. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Mm-hmm. If you've been on this journey so far for our last couple of episodes, because they only get better and better. Shout out to y'all for just tuning in right now. But, babe, we got a good one on the menu. And this one I think is very important. It keeps us out of the red.
Yeah.
Because we always want to go for greens. We want to be on go.
Okay.
All right. So let's do just that. Okay. Our topic today is red flags.
All right. Let's do it.
Either why do we ignore them? What are some red flags we ignore? All of that. Because we want to help people know what to look for and why. But yeah, so I guess we could just kind of start with like, when it comes to red flags, yellow flags, green flags, all of the flags, why are they important, I guess, to kind of keep on our minds when it comes to relationships?
Yeah, I don't know. Just acknowledging, just being intentional about like what is really happening, right? Like things that require more of your attention, things that are good. Like, okay, the green flags, this is good. Like, I don't have to, like, this checks, like you're good with this area. Areas where it's like just knowing where, like keeping an eye out on for improvement. Like maybe, this may or may not work. I may not be able to get with this or vibe with this. I don't know. So just for location and awareness, I guess. To kind of know.
Yeah. No, I think you said that perfectly. Like it kind of makes you be intentional.
Yeah. It brings intentionality to conversations and to like just you really getting to know somebody.
Yeah. It made me think about yesterday when I was having a brief little conversation with, one of our young sisters in Christ, who we mentor or so. And I told her, make sure you keep your jacket on and your glasses on. And, we got this insight about having our jacket on.
I need one now.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah, it is a little cold.
Yeah, it's all right.
But, having your jacket on, meaning like, all right, making sure that you covered.
Right.
And you ready for whatever.
Right.
But the glasses part is what she's like, I'm trying to figure out the glasses reference. And I was like, that's making sure that you peeping.
Yeah.
That you got on your discernment.
Yeah.
Looking at all of the flags. Yeah. So yeah, that is really important in any relationship. Yeah. So that way, you able to just pinpoint what are the things that makes the relationship a go? What are the things that shows you, okay, maybe we could slow down right here? And what are the things that's like...
An absolute no.
No. And you get to evaluate how impactful this no is compared to some of the yeses and maybes.
Right.
Why are red flags ignored? Like, what do you think, makes some people ignore red flags?
So one of the first things I think of is just avoidance. Like avoiding, like actually addressing an issue because you kind of want things to work almost. So it's like, okay, if I pretend like this is not a thing or this is not a red flag, then maybe it'll go away.
Yeah.
Which is a lie. But yeah, I think that's the first thing I think of.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being one. If you're an avoidant type person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say loneliness.
Yeah.
To where some people just don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
To the point that they'll settle for dysfunction.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And man, that's a tough thing to witness. Another one I say is we talked about it before. Just they just going by potential and promises?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people really get lost with the potential aspect because, like, yes, that's good to see, like, okay, they're capable, but I think some people get lost in it because they don't realize that you have to be able to see patterns in people. Like, in order for seeing potential in somebody to really work is if they have a pattern of getting better or growing in that area, right?
Yeah.
But if they haven't shown any patterns of that, then what does potential even matter? Why does it matter? Because they may never reach that potential if no steps moving forward is happening.
Right. It's like some people caught into like, man, but I just think that they can really get better. I just see that they have potential that one day they'll be this. And I don't want to miss out for just in case they end up growing in maturity in this area.
But if their patterns are showing you that they're not really trying to work on it, there's not been consistency, or they don't see it as a problem, then the potential that you see, they might never achieve. And if they do, then great. But, we can't just go by what we think could be.
And then the promises. What I mean by that is when somebody say, yeah, I'm going to work on this.
Yeah.
And or
are you?
Sometimes people hit you with the, yeah, but you don't trust me.
That's manipulation.
You don't you doubting me. You know what I mean? When it's just like, and then now I can make the person feel bad for not believing them about a promise, or somebody say, but once by the time I really get this job, or by the time I'm done with school, or by the time I do this and that, then it'll be easier for me to walk in this
but we
characteristic.
Don't know that, though. We should never wait. Like that's a red flag in itself.
Yeah, and sometimes people kind of get guilted about believing that. Like I should invest my future in your words.
Yeah, and like I kind of said earlier about just pattern, like you have to be able to see that you're not just saying this, because how do I know that just a different season of life or something shifts that now it's going to give you the self-control to do something, or it's going to give you the urgency to do something. Like you have to be able to see a person actually fulfill something in order for you to
But you got to be able to trust me.
I trust
you got to
the
be
Lord.
able to believe me, though.
But we got to be realistic, though.
I feel like you doubted me.
If what I see is that you're not being intentional about these things now, how can I say that you're going to be intentional about them later just because you have a different job?
Yeah.
If anything, switching or transitioning in seasons or jobs or situations may be another reason that causes you to not work on it because you now are trying to adjust to a transition.
Ooh, and God forbid, if whoever you are at the time, and then you go into a job or opportunity, something that put more money in your pocket or something else, it's like, that's going to define even more whoever you were or whatever pattern you already was walking in.
Right. A lot of the time.
You done got more successful while being that.
Right. So what's the reason to change at this point?
Yeah.
Not to say people can't, but it's just like if you already don't see it as a priority now, what makes you think because now you have more status, now you have more money, now you have more whatever that you're going to make it a priority?
Yeah. And I think the last reason we kind of got here that people ignore red flags is just solely off attraction.
Yeah.
Lust can blind your judgment.
Right. Just like they think that just how somebody looks will erase all the problems, or it's not that big of a deal because at least I have the attraction. But then that's where in marriage you get the unhealthy idea of we can just fix everything with sex, which is not true at all.
It's something about this whole this makeup sex phenomenon.
That's so annoying.
That's literally a movie.
It's unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's not a healthy thing to try to adopt into your relationship because that's where you create, one, that's ungodly, one. And then two, is just like you create unhealthy dynamics in your communication.
Right.
So you begin to realize like, okay, maybe we don't have to talk through this. All we got to do is have sex. And it's just like, okay, the problem never gets resolved. Then there's resentment that can build up. Then there's lack of trust. It's just so many different things that can take root or happen if we don't address issues.
So you mean to tell me we can be completely immature, have horrible communication, do a bunch of trauma responding, all of that, and man, we don't just start kissing each other against the wall and just have sex and all the problems gone?
But when you do that though, you're gonna still be broken, you're gonna still have trauma, you're gonna still be in bondage, you're gonna still have horrible communication.
It's gonna all be that way.
You're gonna still be immature. Like it's not going anywhere. You have a temporary passionate, lustful moments, but then boom, like the reality is still y'all can't communicate.
Is it lustful even if we're married?
Yes. The spirit of lust don't have no bounds. Like, you know, we still have to keep everything submitted.
I'm just asking all the questions of like, where a lot of the deception be at.
No, yeah, for sure. People think that just because you can have sex, you're not going to deal with lust. That's false. Like, you're still going to.
You was on your game just now.
It's
you 10 toes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said you was on your game just now for all my probing questions.
Oh, you're so funny.
Yeah. All right, so there are some red flags that people actually overlook. Maybe let's talk through those.
Yeah.
The first one we got here, you said it earlier, lack of stability.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
It is.
Why is a lack of stability a red flag?
Because one, that shows, I think that directly reflects your leadership, right? If you are not stable in your job, in your home, like in your relationships, then how can I expect you to bring...
You saying that towards men.
Right.
Okay.
A foundational of just safety and of security. Like if you're unstable, like that's a red flag to me. You know, if you don't even see the benefits or the urgency in being stable. I don't know. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And I think from a man's perspective, when seeing the lack of stability from like a woman, it's like you're looking at, man, how I'm gonna be able to trust you as like a teammate. Like how I'm gonna be able to trust that you can really be a helper to what I have going on, that you're gonna really have the capacity. How do I know, like, man, we get married, like you're not gonna be expecting me to just basically like be Messiah. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's this thing, that's the thing that both parties probably look at when it comes to stability.
Yeah, because we talk about it in premarital all the time. It's just kind of like the roles of a husband and the roles of a wife, like, and that security, that stability, that leadership, all of those things. And if you're not able to do those by yourself,
I can't be your stability.
How can you do that for a whole family?
Right.
And that's where pattern comes into play. Like that kind of you get what you see, what you get, right?
Yeah.
Not to say that people can't grow and get better and mature, but a lot of the times
you can't bet your life on it, though.
Right, you can't, because then now you're locked. Locked.
That's a tough
You know,
parlay.
it's a covenant at this point, so we got to just figure it out.
Yeah,
but it's like you don't want to go into marriage having to just figure it out.
Yeah, you are a bad better if you bet your life on instability that you think you can make stable.
Yeah.
Because I think this is a good thing to give a disclaimer about. Stability don't just mean financially.
Yeah, no, it don't. It mean emotionally. Like, are you emotionally stable?
Yeah.
Like, are you
mentally stable?
Mentally stable. You know, like, are we gonna be dealing with fighting and throwing stuff?
Spiritually stable.
Spiritually stable.
How do I gotta know that you ain't gonna be 1 minute, man, you all in, you want to serve, you trying to go after God, and then the next minute, man, I don't know if I believe in all this Christian stuff. That's the white religion, and I'm trying to pray to my ancestors. And I got to know that
we got to be locked in.
That you stable in your walk.
Locked in and rooted, 10 toes down.
Yeah.
Because what we doing.
Right.
Like,
so,
but no, that's real.
I got to know, man.
It's more than just financial.
Stuff get tough.
For sure.
We still locked in. You get what I mean? Like we trust in the Lord and everything. And now
you're not just going to leave when it gets hard.
Yeah.
You know? Or the woman, like, nobody's going to leave if somebody loses a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but again, you have enough stability and enough pattern to show that, okay, that's not going to happen.
Right. Right.
But yeah, because it definitely happens.
Right.
Life happens.
Man, we've seen situations where as soon as stuff get tough, somebody will want to leave from out their house with their spouse and go back to mom and dad.
Yeah.
And it was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to be able to see a pattern of that.
Mm-hmm.
Another red flag is responses to accountability.
Yes. How do they receive correction?
Negative responses to accountability.
Look for it, like,
Oof.
or are they like, no, I don't need nobody correcting me. I am an adult. I'm grown. Like, how are they responding? Because again, you got to think about it. Like when we're married and we hold each other accountable, it's just like, are you gonna get mad at me every time I point out an area where you need to grow in? Like, you know, that is a direct reflection on how we're going to do all together.
Right.
Is how you receive from a leader or a friend, even.
So,
you know.
Yeah. So what that might look like is, the person go to gaslighting and they get held accountable.
Yeah.
Go to guilting.
Yeah, no.
I've seen situations where somebody will make a good point. I mean, have a valid thing they point out, holding the person accountable, but somehow they end up being the one apologizing.
That is ridiculous.
I'm apologizing to you for pointing out something you wronged me with.
It
And that's
happens
crazy.
way too often, but
Yeah. That's man. So that leads also to like manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of like just negative responses to accountability.
yeah.
And we'll probably talk about this. We can go on about that one, but there's so many different ways that people can be manipulative and don't even realize it.
Yeah.
May not even be a bad person.
And I think it's that just is a direct reflection on emotional immaturity, where you don't realize that you're being manipulative or gaslighting someone because you're not emotionally stable or mature to be able to identify that that's really what it is, because usually it's coming from a broken place, honestly.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people just genuinely don't know, again,
Yeah.
the immaturity part.
And what about struggles with apologizing? Yeah.
Yeah.
All that falls in a red flag of
because we're going to be
can't
apologizing
take accountability
daily. At least we should.
Yeah.
Like that's something that
You know what that points out? Somebody who has a hard time apologizing, you don't have much of a life of repentance.
that's true.
You don't, that point, to me, that's what that points out to me. You have a hard time telling people, hey, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Man, I was tripping. That means I'm not going to think repentance is that much a part of your prayer life.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And that's scary.
Because we should definitely be doing that daily with the Lord. So if we're used to doing it daily with the Lord, then our hearts are submitted enough and humble enough to be able to come to one another and do that, because that's a pattern. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, it's a heart posture. And if we're used to doing it with the Lord, then what is it to just lay down my pride to...
Right. It can't be everybody else's fault all the time.
Yeah.
Another red flag, disrespect.
Yes.
And that can come in different forms. It can be people be disrespectful and they disguise it as humor.
I think that is very common, and I don't think people really realize it. Like, they say something so disrespectful, but laugh about it or try to make a joke about it to make it light.
Yeah.
That's where the thing
You joke about something enough.
Right. It's like, okay, there's some truth to this joke.
Yeah.
And so...
You keep joking about my weight.
Right. You have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Don't joke. Just can we have a conversation?
Yeah. You keep joking about my style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
just talk and say, hey, like, I want you to tighten up when it comes to that area.
Yeah.
I don't know, but passive aggressiveness.
Yes, for sure.
And it's constant. Belittling. That's all that is a part of the red flag of just constant disrespect.
Yeah.
And I think what makes all of that a problem and what makes that a red flag is it clearly shows that the person don't really see you in like a high regard or high enough regard that would be needed to go and have like a healthy marriage one day, a healthy relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we see that sometimes even spiritually. Sometimes people just belittle. When somebody just look at whoever they dating or whoever they with as like, man, I kind of see you beneath me a little bit.
Yeah. Then the disrespect is gonna be there. It's gonna show up in different ways.
Yeah.
In ways that they feel like isn't as obviously disrespectful, but just trying to cover it up with
What
something.
makes people see others that way though, like beneath? Is it like a thing like if you're not as in like a prestigious career as me? Is it like you're not as spiritual as me?
I feel like it's a bunch of different ways. Obviously, ultimately, it's pride, but
You're not as popular as me?
yeah, I mean, it can be anything, honestly.
Man.
Like your prayer, you stumbled in your prayer, or you don't seem as confident, or, like you don't have as much influence. Like, people can say many things. You can just about say anything. But I feel like that's just a direct reflection on just having a prideful heart,
One thing that you pointed out to me sometime, from a women's standpoint, I don't remember this, but you said some women fall into that when they always in the back of their mind wondering on if they could do better or if it's something better that they're missing.
Yeah.
and they frustrated about it. They don't know that, so they treat the person who they with a certain way, or if they don't know, how everybody else look at this person that they're with.
Yeah, and I think a lot of women deal with that, but don't really realize that it's a thing, and that what you feel in your heart is going to be reflected with how you treat someone. And again, those are definitely red flags, because again, you should have enough security in yourself and enough respect for someone to just kind of like see something through. Like, hey, if someone else may consider them whatever, like, what does it matter? Like, how do you actually feel about
He's too
them?
regular.
Like, yeah, like what, And so at some point you have to have a level of maturity to see like, okay, if I'm deciding to get to know this person, let me just stay locked in and decide to get to know this person. If it doesn't work, then okay, great.
Well, I don't see what's the point of being with somebody if
right. Because at the end of the day, there's always somebody better. There's somebody who's more talented. There's somebody, But again, that's why comparison is literally a thief to joy. It's a thief to thrive. It's a thief to gratitude, because your mindset is always looking at what ifs.
Right.
And it's just like, that's not a way to live.
Yeah.
But that's a red flag for sure.
Oh, this next one is big for me. This next red flag, isolation.
Yeah.
Isolation.
Yeah. Now
that's as an individual, or if it's somebody if it's like a dating relationship, like that isolation thing is a red flag.
But it's a red flag though, especially when you're single, because it's like, okay, if you are comfortable just being away and isolating yourself from people, then when you get into a relationship, you're gonna 9 times out of 10 expect that person to do the same thing as you.
Right.
So you should be looking at, do they have friends? Do they go hang out with their friends? Do they have people that they talk to?
And real quick, we are not talking about introverts.
No.
Okay.
Because I'm introverted.
Yeah, we're not talking about introverts.
I'm definitely an introvert.
Okay, just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, no.
You talking about people, that's a red flag. Why you ain't got no friends?
None. Never talking to nobody.
And, people try to make, here on social media, I don't need friends, this and that. And that's not
That's
hurt.
Not that is hurt speaking.
Yeah.
That is not the Lord. He wants us to be in community. He wants us to be connected with believers as believers. But no, so those are red flags. Like if you're getting to know somebody and they never talk about a friend, they never talk about a conversation they had with a friend, they're always just home or doing stuff by themselves, like they're always withdrawn, like that is a red flag, because what are they going to expect you to do?
Right. And that's where I was going to go next. It's like, you ever saw any of those relationships people start dating and it's like they always only want to be private?
Yeah.
It's like that one of them might not want the other person to have other friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But also, why we always got to go here? Why we always got to go around people? They always want to be private. That's a red flag. Mm-hmm. And this is my favorite. This is my favorite one.
Not your favorite.
This is my favorite one right here with isolation. Biggest red flag. We tell you this a lot. If somebody right at the beginning, they ain't even started dating yet. They just started talking. Maybe just started texting. And they say, I just don't want nobody in our business.
At that point, y'all don't even have business. Y'all just
and really what they saying is your best friend or your close family member or your pastor. That's really who they talking about.
Mentor, they don't want anyone else to have influence within the relationship, because then there's accountability.
Yep. It's like what you trying to hide.
Right.
Yeah. Clearly, a lot of points out a pride issue.
Right. Who deals with isolation, that's something that they don't like.
Yeah.
Like at all. And that is a red flag. If someone is confrontational or gets upset with you because they don't want to be around people or around your friends or talking to them or talking about your relationship, that's concerning.
Yeah. If there's any prideful manipulators out there watching, sorry, we just told your business.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's the favorite one right there. I just don't want anybody in our business.
So funny.
You hear somebody say that mean they about to do a number on you.
That's crazy. I'm trying to think. Did I say that?
They about to try to slowly reel you away from your community, from your people. Mm-hmm. That's I don't need you being accountable and opening up to your pastor or opening up to your guidance or your friends or anything. That's what that is.
Yeah, no.
So,
true.
How about unaddressed insecurities?
Yeah, that's a red flag, because a lot of that what comes with unaddressed insecurities is not deflection. What is the word I'm thinking about? Projection. Like you projecting that on other people. So if you're insecure about your appearance, then you're going to constantly be acknowledging your partners or the person, your interests, appearance, or assume that they're thinking the same thing you think when
about
it comes
yourself.
to about yourself. Right. So, no.
And what unaddressed insecurities does, it makes it very stressful on the other person.
Right.
Because now it's like,
they can't
I
do
have to
anything
try
right.
I'm not going to ever be able to get it right. I got to try to treat you as perfect as possible. I mean, with not much grace, not much room of getting it wrong. I got to make sure all seconds, minutes of the day, I'm saying every single thing right to keep you feeling good about you.
And realistically, that is unfair to the person. And it's really unfortunate because they're not God. Like only God can bring security to us. Like only God can fulfill those voids that we feel insecure about.
Right.
And so putting that on a person who's imperfect is unrealistic.
God forbid I say the word no to you about something. That means it's like, I can't not like the same interests as you.
Yeah.
Because now it's, well, what you trying to say about me?
Yeah. Honestly, it's draining, to be honest. Like being with someone who's insecure, or even being friends with someone who's insecure, is very draining because you have to consistently validate them.
Yeah.
And again, like only God.
It becomes a full-time job.
Right. And that is that's stressful. It's draining and it's not fun. Like it makes it not fun being around you.
Yeah.
Like, so that
I gotta be careful how much I laugh. I gotta be careful. I'm having too much fun and you not.
Yeah.
Man, I can't act too happy around friends or anybody that's not you.
Yeah. That is extreme. That is crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, we know it's people out there who are still growing and healing.
Right.
That has that type of mindset, but it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And I just
We
pray
can't
that they
play a
get
board
freedom
game.
in Jesus' name.
We can't play a board game and I'm scared to win.
That you're like going there.
Yeah.
Like that's wild. But I guess
we unfiltered.
But it is people out there that's like that. But that's crazy. That's bondage. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Like it's unfortunate.
Right. Spiritual misalignment. It's another red flag. I mean, we kind of know that's it's unequally yoked, not having the same values about faith, growth, priorities. Emotional immaturity.
Yeah, that's a red flag for sure.
Somebody they can't have heart conversations. Mm-hmm. Can't have just adult conversations.
Yeah.
Just don't have the emotional maturity for it.
Not wanting to acknowledge their feelings or their emotions or acknowledge their behavior that's directly connected to their emotions.
Or maybe put way too much into their feelings.
Right. So where they're
emotions.
they're allowing their emotions to decide things for them, how they could communicate with people, how they interact with people, what decisions that they make. Like having emotional instability can literally ruin relationships.
Yeah.
So not even just romantic, but any relationship.
Right.
But yeah,
a mixture of insecurity and emotional maturity, man, that's gonna have you spending every one of your days basically saying that didn't happen.
Right. That
didn't happen. But the mixture of emotions and insecurity have a whole narrative driving the relationship.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. So if there's anything, I guess, we're ending this, that's what we have for today. But if there's anything I leave everybody with when it comes to the flags is you want to acknowledge the greens,
Yes.
probe the yellows, and confront the reds.
Yes. Good stuff.
Just like that.
Right.
So, hey guys, it was cool sitting in here with y'all again for another conversation with the Davis Unfiltered.
Period.
Man, I hope this blessed somebody. Man, hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
If it does, share it with somebody as well you think need this.
Yes.
But till next time, bless up.